in such a society, but not have the knowledge of what's happening in the surroundings. We have to engage. We have to engage, interact, and understand comprehensively the society that we are living in. We have to engage. So education and knowledge are the basics. It's number one. Socially, we should stop living in ghettos. Ghetto mentality, not ghettos as an area. We are only mixing with the Tunisian, or with the Libyan, or with the Egyptian, or with the Bengali, or Pakistani, or Yemeni. You are here as British subjects. You are a part of a greater society. Ghetto is not good anymore. It might have been good sometime, 30, 40, 50 years ago, but now it's not right. It does not create the right atmosphere. It does not create the right surroundings. We have to engage and be confident that we can engage and affect the society positively with our knowledge, with our culture, with our value, with our belief. If you strongly believe in what you believe in, you'll be able to have your fingerprint in the society you are living in. But if you are a weak believer, you live in ghetto and you do not expose yourself to the greater society, so you will not be able to have an impact on such a greater society. Is it clear? I'm not going to give talks, but I can be stopped to interact, and you can stop me anytime. So ghetto is not on our agenda anymore. Ghetto mentality should not be there on the 21st century. Not mixing with our neighbors, our neighborhood, whether they are Muslims or Christians, is not going to be helpful for our society. Even at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, there was interaction between the Prophet ﷺ and the non-Muslims. Whether the non-Muslims were from Ahl Kitab or from the atheists, the Mushrikeen. He never was isolating himself from the greater surrounding. Prophet ﷺ never was isolating himself from the greater society. Because he believed in his mission, because he believed in his message, and because he believed in his vision, that he there to make a change. If we really want to make a change, we have to become a change maker. And to have to be amongst the people who can make the change. Not just talk about the change while we are sitting in our ghettos. This will get us in a depressive atmosphere. Talking about the change, talking about the outside atmosphere, good, but not good enough. What we need to have is to set up some objective. Let me give you some examples. There's something happening somewhere in a country. It's global policy, which I cannot have any impact on. If I keep thinking that I'll be able to make a change in something that I cannot reach, I'll become depressed. Clear? But I have to realize my ability, and I have to realize my knowledge. And where is my strength? To start making a small change, small by small change. You want me to talk? Elaborate more? Every one of us here in this room, outside, think that Muslims are under the attack. Islamophobia, extremism, radicalism, terrorism, is that right? Media against us, stereotyping, all this kind of things. You want to make a change, you start from where you can't make it. Change is not going to be made overnight. Change is not going to be made over 5 years, or 10 years, or 1 year, or 6 months. It takes years to happen. It takes years to happen. People, I think I remember Condoleezza Rice wrote a book. How many years ago? 15 years ago, something like this. I can't remember the name of it. Huh? More than that. But anyway, whatever you call it. About the book was about what? About what? The organized chaos, or organized chaos, something like this, or the new Middle East. After 10 years, things are happening. After 15 years, things are happening. It did not start with the book. It started in the 80s, when there was conflict between Kuwait and Iraq. See, 30 years now, and it's never ended. So if you want to make a change, see what you can make to make a positive change in the society. Don't become frustrated, because the change will never happen overnight. Will never happen in 6 months' time. Needs a process of education, commitment, steadfastness, and very, very hard work of engagement with your local community and with the greater society. And you have to find your way amongst the change maker. Each one of us loves to have his son or his daughter to become hafiz. Is that right? Hafiz, يعني حفظ القرآن. Right? That's right? Yes?
Yes.
But how many of us would love his son or daughter to become alim? Proper alim. Not the short sleeve sheikhs here who do not know what they are talking about. Really, they do not talk about. They don't have alim in this country. Very, very few. So, in the knowledge of Islam, it's number one. Who amongst us love his daughter or his son to study humanitarian subjects or social subjects? Each one of us love his son or daughter to become a doctor or engineer. Is that right? They cannot make the change. I used to be a doctor. I'm not a change maker. Social science, humanitarian science are part of the process of the change making in any society. Law, politics, and all this media and others. If we don't know what kind of education to give to our children, we are ignorant. We are ignorant. I want my son to become hafiz as well as alim if it's in the Islamic Sharia, or hafiz and media man, or hafiz and politician, or hafiz and social worker, and so on, so on, so on. Or hafiz and doctor, or hafiz and engineer. But doctors and engineers do not make change in the society. The politicians, the media, the journalists, the social workers are the people who can make a change in the society. Know what subject you would like your children to have before complaining about that you do not have any impact in any society. It is clear. Education, knowledge, engagement, interaction, and start small. Never ever to start big. Or never ever think that you can change society overnight. No way. Even after any revolution, the expectation level will be 500%, 1,000%, 2,000%, or 1,000,000%. It will never happen. It will never happen. Slowly, progressively, effectively, cementing and infrastructure of the society. Other challenge for us in our society, how many effective organizations that we are having in the country? Effective organization. How many of our organizations have an impact on the local community or on the greater community? How do we manage our organizations? Do we have awqaf to support our organizations? Why our organization is very small and from hand to mouth all the time? Why we are not thinking ahead for the future? Why? I have been in this place since they bought it 1979, 1980. This was nearly how many years ago? I don't know. It's nearly more than 40 years ago. You are the second or third generation, including yourself and others. Measure the impact of such an institution on the surrounding and on Birmingham City and on the West Midlands and on the country after 37 and 38 years. Clear? We don't know how to build organizations. It is something very, very, very serious in the mindset that we have. Because we're still living in the era of the individualism. The imam, the sheikh, the untouchable leader, the people that you cannot talk about them because those people, like said, more than angels, untouchable. And this is the problem because we are still living in our society in a very open, multicultural, multi-faith, multilingual society, but we are living in a ghetto. Our mind is still controlled by the ghetto mentality. That's why we cannot make an impact after 30 or 40 years in an area that we are living in, even if we speak the same language. Clear? How long did I talk now for? Because I can open the discussion.
3 minutes.
3 minutes? I don't want to take the 3 minutes, but I'll give you the 3 minutes.
No, you've been talking for 3 minutes. لا أمزح 14 minutes.
Okay, I think this is more than enough actually, because talking too much is not good. But listening to your discussion is more important. Okay. Really, if we want to make a change, we have to believe that we are a change maker. If we don't believe that we are a change maker, we will be in the corner of extremism, radicalism, terrorism, and ism. Okay? I'll open the floor for the discussion, and I'm available for any difficult question.
Say a bit more about how to be Muslim as well as British and the difficulty and the conflict with being a Muslim, to deal with that.
How to be a Muslim?
عيد السؤال.
At the very beginning.
The conflict.
There is no conflict.
Some people, the perceived conflict.
There is no conflict between being a Muslim and being a citizen. Prophet ﷺ was crying for Mecca when he immigrated to Medina. Citizenship was to Medina, to Mecca. Medina and Mecca were like countries at that time. Mecca and Medina were like maybe Yemen and maybe Saudi Arabia or England or whatever it is. Okay? But this is the feeling. He was sentimentally having the feeling towards Mecca, but he was building the society in Medina. He found the road for himself. You cannot afford, we cannot afford to live without having a road. You cannot be a Muslim. That's it. Let's take it now. I'm going to attack you. You cannot be a proper Muslim if you live without having a role to play in the society. You must have a role. We must have a role, no matter how big or how small such a role is. I could be a rubbish collector, but I can perfect. It's my role. I could be a professor, could be a teacher, it could be a cleaner, it could be anybody. There is no conflict whatsoever. The West is not about sex and the gambling and what's the third one?
Drinking.
Drinking. West is about technology, about knowledge, and about education. In Mecca, there was, at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, there was prostitution, there was gambling, there was what else? Drinking, but the Prophet was there. At the time of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ as well, the same. إني دعوت قومي ليلا ونهارا فلم يزدهم دعائي إلا فرارا. I've been inviting my people day and night. Day in the market. Night where people can find themselves at night 3,000 years ago. Where? Cabaret, disco. Disco was disco at the time of Prophet Muhammad. They call it disco. But they're their own disco. Disco, cabaret, whatever you call it. He was inviting everyone because he had a role. Prophet Muhammad had a role at that time to invite his people for 950 years. There was no conflict. But if you keep looking at the West as we lose our identity, what identity we have since we came here? People have to ask themselves this question. We want to have an identity. What's the identity? Let us discuss what identity we want to have, or what identity we had before arriving to this country. West is not about women, it's not about, womanization, it's not about drinking, it's not about all these haram things. It was about technology, education, industry, communication, networking, building society, everything. You cannot find in any society that everyone is angelic. I'm not saying this. Even in our countries, when people came from Yemen or from Syria or from Saudi Arabia or from Egypt or from anywhere, are the people there are angels? All of them? Fine. If you go to, if I talk about Egypt, if you go to certain streets in Cairo, street area, if you go to another streets, mosques, and madrasa and others. It's entirely up to me to mix with the people that I want to mix, to learn what I want to learn, and find my way. Why people become industrialists? Because they want to become industrialists. Why people became professors? They want to become professors. It's what they dream. We cannot live in any society having internal conflict in ourselves. You have to get this internal conflict out and say that I am going to come here to become whatever I want to be. Okay? But if we keep talking and discussing things behind doors, behind closed doors, in ghettos, we will have this conflict between being a citizen and being a believer or being a Muslim. One, you come from Yemen, huh? Yes, thank you. I came from Yemen. Who spread Islam in Andalusia?
Indonesia.
Andalusia. I know the difference between Andalusia and Indonesia. Yemen. Those kings from Ahmad bin Ahmad.
My tribe.
Your tribe, okay, but not you. But they are not eating hard. Okay? Who will spread it in Indonesia? And Philippines and other Yemen. Even the same family is there. One man, two men, three men, merchants, in East Africa, West Africa. They were not nuts. They didn't have this conflict in themselves because they had a role to play. They were carrying the torch of the Prophet ﷺ and the message. They had vision while they are actually walking on their feet, traveling on a horseback, on a camel, and they're having all this kind of power in their hearts to drive the community. They are visiting one man. How did Islam enter Korea? Anybody knows? The NATO army, all of them are white. But it's two different whites. White who goes to the red area at night, and the other white who does not go to the red area. It was a Turkish. And people realize the difference between these two groups from the 50s. Okay? And for these people are mixing, doing whatever it is, and the other two are very nice and very good behavior. So they started to know from their behavior who are they, and they discovered Islam and they became Muslims. Slowly and progressively, 60 years ago. It's your behavior, it's my behavior, it's my dealing. See? I make the conflict because I don't have a role. I make a conflict because of my belief in my, because I'm confused. I'm confusing myself. I'm just using Islam to have a camouflage. And say, no, we're oppressed. Excuse. See, when we look at it in this country, yes, if you know you're right, you get your right. In other countries, no matter what you know you're right, how you know you're right, you'll never get your right. Okay? Is it clear for you? Okay, thank you. Yes, hello.
Are you sure you will get your right?
Yes, I'm sure. I got all my right. I have been living here for the last nearly, when did I come here? 77. 77 when I came as a medical student, as a medical doctor. And whenever I asked for a right, I managed to get it. You know how you get your right, you get it. Even at that time, I'll tell you something. 2-3 years ago, there were certain people who wanted to accuse certain groups of being a terrorist, right? Right? Certain group. And the investigator did not find it a terrorist organization. Right? The government could not be able to do anything to it. Because there is an institution which will stop them calling them a terrorist organization. I don't want to call names because people will know the names of the organization. Okay? A lot of money has been paid. Okay? But it came to a point that they cannot actually face the public because there's a lot of independent public institutions here in this country. But you know the problem is, brother, we do not connect. In this mosque, how many MPs that you know from the three parties?
That have come here.
How many MPs that they are your friends and aligned from the three parties?
That have come to this mosque.
I said they are your friends, not come only to the mosque.
Oh, that my friends, MPs.
Yeah. Can stand up for you and represent you and defend you. Just answer me. This will answer his question. If people don't know, nobody will defend you.
It's difficult to connect those.
No, it's not difficult. It's easy. It's easy. We have been living here for 40
No, but they have
years.
different ideas.
No. It's not difficult to connect. It's not difficult to connect. It's difficult for him.
Dr. Hani, I've written to my MP 3 or 4 times, never had a response from him.
Writing is not enough. Okay, 3 or 4 times. What I'm trying to say, it has not become hot-headed. Because I know a lot of MPs. Others know more MPs that I know. But actually, we do not connect. Find the way to connect with other people, to help you. Find the way. It's nothing easy in this country. But you have to know your way in how to connect with other people. Yeah.
I think it's both sides. Okay, I think when you said, okay, we should seek our rights. But the reality of it is you still have institutional racism. You still have from that side that prevents people from getting into that.
I know.
But at the same time, you can still connect to people. It might be your individual experience is good. Some other people's experience is not as good. But it's not it's not one way.
I'll tell you something. This MP was killed, stabbed, and shot dead a few years ago.
Joe Cox.
What she was standing for?
stand for people. Okay.
There are many like that.
No, there aren't.
Huh?
There aren't.
Sorry?
No, there aren't. MPs like her.
It is your
Maybe in
opinion.
Scotland. Maybe in Scotland, yes.
It's your opinion. Okay? My opinion is different. I have to challenge you. I have to challenge you. Because people can help you if you try to find them. People can help you if you try to deliver the right message that they understand. It's not good enough you scream. It's good enough that they understand what your problem is. Screaming is no good. Okay? Connection takes time. Communication takes time. Networking takes time. It's a process. Writing to an MP for 3 or 4 times is not good enough.
I can give other examples of other people.
Give other examples, but other people have different examples as well. You have an example which said that I cannot connect. Is that right? Others have examples that they have connected and became successful. Yes?
Yes.
That's it. Why they are successful and they are not successful.
I mean, that's a whole debate in itself.
That's
and
the
I'm
whole debate to find.
more than happy to entertain it.
Yeah. That is the way for me and you to find it. So I find the way. I find the way to have my rights. Yes? I'm challenging you.
But okay, to be candid, with regard, I mean, with what you've been doing, you've been very apolitical in most of what you've done, and MP politicians don't have a problem with that and are welcome to engage with that. But once you take a position or you are openly critical, then they're no longer willing to engage. I mean, what happened with Babar Ahmed and the engagement from the community with Sadiq Khan, the only way they were able to get a letter out of Sadiq Khan is that they forced him into a corner in which, and this is just an example, but he was reluctant and his heels were dragged over it.
Can I say something?
Tafadhal, bismillah, it's your
Didn't
floor.
they say that do we have organizations that have a powerful voice in the community or not?
We do, but we could do with
No,
more.
we don't.
We have a few.
Which one?
Mend.
Huh?
Mend.
Thank you. I'm not going to comment on anyone. Do we have
Yeah,
organizations that actually the Prime Minister will listen to its opinion or not?
No.
That's it. Do we have organizations that MPs will respect or not? We are not building organizations. Unfortunately, we are living in this country for the last 50, 60, 70 years. We are not building institutions. We are following individuals. Sometimes makes mistakes, sometimes makes successful story. Build organization. Build civil society organization. And let your organization to fight for your right. To fight for your right. You see, one organization is not enough.
We did have in the past,
What?
and politicians were listening previously, like as soon as Iraq happened and we started criticising them. Now, let's be frank.
Why other
Let's be
communities-
frank.
Brother, listen to me. You know why I'm not giving a speech?
Listen, read.
You know why I'm not giving a speech?
Tafadhal.
Because I don't want to give you a sleeping tablet. Because I don't want to live in Syria 2,000 years ago, or 1,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago. I say, oh, Alhamdulillah. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pick your brain. I'm not going to wake you up. We have not built proper organization, neither social, nor political, nor others. And now we're complaining. Other communities are getting the rights. Why? Give me why the other communities are getting the rights and we're not getting the rights.
I would like to say
Come on, I'm not afraid of it. Hold it.
No, to be honest, I mean, you raised a very important point, but I think it's a deeper issue than this.
Yes, I know.
It's very deep because we as Muslims, we have not had the mentality of success. It's not in our myths. You know, even if you establish a good organization like yours, you know, Islamic
forget about me.
and others, strong organization, you don't have any clout. You can't like turn the table on the Prime Minister and they start listening to you. We're not the Jewish community. We have not built any clout. No wealth, no knowledge, no nothing. So it's just individuals fighting government, fighting very strong, you know, media, very strong, powerful elite. That we cannot do nothing. So it's deeper issues, it's within ourselves.
Why
Why can't we actually,
Thank you.
as individuals, become successful and also as communities become successful? Because I worked with the Sikh community, they're very powerful, they're very, very influential. The Indian community, as much as powerful as maybe the other. And they're very influential because they've got leaders of power. They've got the power. I know you
Let him finish.
but the reality of it is, they are powerful. They've got levers of power. They've built themselves. They can turn tables. They can influence decisions.
Okay.
Once you've got that, not phony organisation with all
I'll give you the method.
voluntary phony organisations, collecting money from people and then giving it to others. What's that going to do? I'm sorry, it's helping an individual. You're not really changing anything.
Thank you. You want to say something? I'm very happy. How are you? Where are you from? Oh, Bismillah, mashallah, Pristina. Okay. Yeah. Go on. Give your opinion.
We Muslims, somewhat, we are limited.
Again.
We can't-
Turn it towards you.
We can't do.
We should
That's-
say that word.
No, we can't. No.
Let him say his opinion. Akhi, this is opinion. No. I love it. Allah. I've been to Pristina many times.
All right, okay.
He has been.
I haven't though.
I'm not married from there.
Anyway, okay, back to the topic. I have experience with some of those people he mentioned, not to be prejudicial. However, for someone who wants to live Islam, there are strict codes of conduct on being a Muslim, and we cannot just earn money willy-nilly from any sources. And in that way, it's very difficult to be a Muslim and establish yourself in this country. We can only kid ourselves. It's very difficult because these people earn money from gambling, from usury, from all sources. We can't do that. That's why in many ways we cannot comply. We cannot be their friends. We cannot accompany them to the Pope. Akhi, Pope is their institution like Masjid is our institution.
Can I say
There is a big, listen, let's not kid ourselves.
Let him finish.
the business person in
Yeah,
this
I want to
front
say-
area
No.
is an Indian who gives spices. They don't think they're going to haram things. They have established legitimate businesses. We can't put ourselves and say they're all by doing haram things. They have legitimate businesses they do.
How many doctors we have working in this country? Engineers and others? Thousands.
Yes,
Thousands.
no.
I can give you multi-millionaires, Muslims living in this city, who have got hundreds of millions of pounds living in Birmingham, and have not taken any penny from any bank. I know them. I know them one by one. It took them 20, 30 years to do that, but they struggled. They used to drive a van, they used to run a shop, a corner shop, but in 30 years' time, they have a 300, 400, 500 million pound institution in this city. Okay, they are there. In London, there are more. In Manchester, there are. People manage to do that. People manage, but actually it takes them 30, 40, 50 years. We have got heads of departments in this country who are Muslims. We have got professors who are Muslims. We have got consultants who are Muslims. We have got engineers, top engineers who are Muslims. We have got politicians who are Muslims. This came 20 years ago. It was not there. We were celebrating the first Muslim MP in the Labour Party, I think 20 or 25 years ago. That's right, I can't remember who his name was. And the first Lord, and the first Baroness, and all this sort. It happened because I myself living in this country for the last 40 years. Nothing is difficult, even in my own country. Nothing is difficult, even in your own country. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. What you are?
دايخ.
It's about singing, huh? Children's song. Aghanti, children's song.
Nursery rhymes, nursery rhymes. Nursery rhymes.
Okay? So nothing is easy. And the most called conservative Muslim country, you might not be able to get your right. Okay? No. But if you know your way, see, you'll be able to get it. One of our solutions here, brothers, who might have become successful in building humanitarian organizations, such as Islamic Relief, such as Muslim Aid, such as Human Appeal, Muslim Hands, okay? Because it is built on emotion. Somebody is in Bosnia or Kosovo, you see, we lived the issue of Bosnia and Kosovo. So I was there in the early 90s. And people give money, okay? Once the war stopped, nobody gives money. Our target now, brothers, is to build social institutions. That's if you want to make the change. Because humanitarian organization is based on emotion. Social organization based on networking. And building the social infrastructure of the society. We are not very good at that. We are not very good at that. We are not killing ourselves, but we are learning. I think we have to celebrate our success story over the last 30 years. 30 years ago, this was not a mosque. That's right? This was something else. In spite of the fact that I'm critical on your management, but I'm happy that you have a role, even if it's very small. I'm saluting you and celebrating the successful role that you are playing in the community. But I want you to do more. I want you to do more. Okay? You look at me, don't look at the camera.
You're out of shots.
Okay, fine. I want the sisters at the back to do more. To connect with other sisters from other sides. To build community. Not just to become numbers. Not just to become, alhamdulillah, now 20, 70, oh, what is this? What is this? Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said long time ago, معناها ايه الحديث؟ انا مش فاكر بس النص بتاعه. تداعى الامم. The nation, other nations will fall on you as the hungry men and women are falling on the big dish because of their anger. تداعى عليكم أمم كداعى الأكلة على أصعدها. They said, oh Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is it because we are very few? He said, no, plenty. Plenty. But will become like this froth on the surface of the wave of the sea. The wave take it this way and this way. You know why? Because وَلَيَنْزِعَنَّ اللَّهُ الْمَهَابَةَ مِنْ قُلُوبِ عَدُوِّكُمْ وَلَيَقْذِفَنَّ الرُّعْنَ فِي قُلُوبِكُمْ. Allah will take out the respect and the fear from the hearts of the enemies and will put in your heart this wahan. They said, what is this wahan? They said, حُبُّ الدُّنْيا, the love of dunya and the fear to die. So when we look at all these sort of things, look at ourselves first. Okay? But I'm happy that you have been working here for the last 35, 40 years in this mosque, which is very important. And in Samuel, there's another mosque, and other that's happening, but it's not enough. Maybe if you come back here in 20 years' time, in 2036, and I can deliver the talk again, okay? If you are sitting in the same place, and they're sitting in the same place, okay? We will talk about different story. Because 1984 there was no Islamic Relief, no Muslim Aid, no Muslim Hands. Now there are hundreds. There are very few mosques, now there are thousands. So while extremism is on the table, while radicalism is on the table, you focus on what you need to deliver, even if it's very small. don't stop working. Don't stop working. Don't stop working. Don't stop working. You got it? Don't stop working. Do whatever you can, even if it's very little. Prophet ﷺ said, أحب الأعمال إلى الله أدومها وقلبها. Prophet ﷺ said, the most beloved act before Allah is the continuous, even if it's very little. Don't stop working. Don't let anybody to stop you working and achieving. Don't believe that you want to achieve everything in your life. You might put the seed, the Prophet ﷺ said, إذا قامت الساعة وكان في يد أحدكم فسيلة فيزعها. If the hour is there, the يوم القيامة, and you can see the sun is rising from the west and so on, and you have this tree or this date tree in your hand, just plant it. Don't wait for the fruits. What we need to do is to act, and the fruits in the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't let anyone to demoralize you. Never. Don't let anyone to depress you or your son or your daughter. Never. Be the source of empowerment and the source of motivation to your children. Be the source of motivation to your wife, to your colleague, to your friends. And this is the struggle, internal struggle. This is the internal. At the time of the Bosnia War, which I was there most of the time, we refused to become depressed, looking at the number of the victims of rape, from the age of 4-year-old girl to the age of 70. Systematic, 5, 6, 7 times a day to a one girl. Have you seen this? Well, I've seen it. But you managed to bury at the time of depression, at the time of disaster, at the time when the sun was not rising, it was cloudy and dark. Do it better than the people. If I remember, how did we start Muaz, a welfare trust? Before Muaz Welfare Trust, it was Yemeni Institute. Before Yemeni Institute, they were actually having small rooms, the front room in the house. Abu Saleh, Abu Khalid, وعبد الرقيب اسمه ايه؟ عبد الرقيب الاستاذ عبد الرقيب
عبد الجبار
عبد الرقيب لا عبد الرقيب الحي ها؟ عبد الرقيب ايه؟
يحيى
عبد الرقيب يحيى هم ابو خالد رحمه الله عليه ابو صالح رحمه الله عليه الشيخ عبد الرقيب as well were doing this kind of classes of Arabic classes in the front room. Then it became Yemeni Institute, then it became Muaz Welfare Trust, then it became, I've not seen it when it was dark. Now it is, you hold the torch now and take it to the coming 20 years. Especially you yourself. I met your daughter, I love her. The one who was in the scout. How old is she?
11.
11. Can I say I love her?
ليش لا؟
ليش لا? In English, please.
Why not?
Why not? Because she's a very powerful leader at the age of 11. She'll be far more better than yourself.
Inshallah.
Look after her
Inshallah.
and make her the leader. She here?
Somewhere in the back.
Huh?
Somewhere in the back.
Somewhere in the back. Okay? Any other questions, brothers, sisters? يا عم انت بتشرب لوحدك مش تشربنا معاك. تفضل. انا عارف انت ابن مين؟ محسن. ايوه. حد عايز يقول كلمه ثانيه صعبه ولا انا بالنسبه لي ما عنديش مشكله. تطلع تزعق لي ما تزعقليش كله ماشي. You ask, you shout at me, you whatever, I have no problem. Yes, sisters, you want to ask any question, brothers? Come on, brother Young, come on. And yes. I want you. Be careful, huh? Tell me what you want to be. كلم الناس دول. Why? Speak to them. Convince them that you are a good Muslim and a good citizen as well. Come on. Convince them that you are a good Muslim and a good citizen. No, convince them. Convince them.
تكبير.
تعال هذا جيجل انت، لا جيجل انت، انت تعال انت تعال carry on. I'm a good Muslim and I'm a good engineer. Very good. Got it.
Well, that was easy.
Say what you want to be. Go.
I want to be a businessman.
Talk. Why?
Benefit me, benefit me.
Go on.
You can change the world.
Good. Very good. Good.
You can have restriction on life as well.
Good.
You can have restriction on life.
انت بتاع بيموت عم تعال هنا ما قلتلكش اقعد لسه. لا تمام. طيب تعال هنا قول لهم قول كده قدام التلفزيون مش شغال. طيب تعال بص ده عايز تعمل ايه؟ Convince every one of them that what you want to be. Go on. Compose.
I want to be a businessman because it's going to benefit me and it's going to help change the world.
Alhamdulillah. He wants to be a good businessman. It benefits him and it helps him to change the world. It's a dream. Your dream is to change the world. Thank you.
He said he wants to be next.
تعال. تعال. Can you be a good citizen and a good Muslim? Give them a job. Can you be a good citizen and a good Muslim? Yeah. How? What do you want to do in the future? What do you want to do in the future? Okay, thank you. He is very honest. He's very honest. And I accept his answer. Okay, and this reflects our community. Okay, you. I want other. You, brother. This is our youth. They cannot stand in front of a loudspeaker and face the public. We have a problem in the mosque, we have a problem in the community, we have a problem at home. We have a problem. Come on. Tell them how you become a good Muslim and a good citizen. Very good. Very good. Very good. Yes. Why? Very good. Thank you. Anybody else? Come on. Come on. You see, and I'm not interested in the gray hair. You know the gray hair or the balding like myself. I'm not interested. I'm interested in those people who are going to make the change in the future. They cannot start now Who will still be living in ghetto after 20, 30 years? Yeah, go on, speak, say anything. Say anything. Now we are making a public speech. And tell them who you are, what you want to be. See my finger? Go on, yalla. Yalla, bismillah.
My name is Firas. I want to be a nuclear engineer,
Very good. Why?
so I can learn how to stop nuclear warfare.
Very good, very good, very good. How can you become a good Muslim as well?
Helping people.
Very good. Knowing Islam.
Yeah,
What's your dream?
to make sure like there's no more poor people.
Very good, very good, very good. Jazakallah khair. Allah bless you.
الله يبارك فيك.
Anybody else? قوم يا ابني، قوم يا ابني، تعال تعال تعال. يلا، بسم الله. You know who is the loser? Is the one who does not come and stand next to me. كلم. بعد الناس كده شوف شعرك. Speak. Designer, very good. You like design? Okay, that's why you want to be designer. Designing what? Clothes, electronics, very good. Why? It's good. Very good. Huh? It's good business for him. That's how he started. And what are you going to do with becoming a designer? Make stuff like what? You want to make stuff, you can make a change in the community. Okay? And you can give the money to me. Okay? Jazakallah. I love this. All right, anybody else?
Dr. Hani. Reem.
Reem. Who's Reem?
My daughter.
My daughter.
My daughter.
يا ريم تعال تعال يا ريم انا كنت بتكلم عليك مش انا بمسك قبل كده برضه What do you want to be? Let's go.
I want to be a doctor.
Why?
Just because.
Just because?
Just because to treat people.
Treat people. She wants to treat people.
I don't want to see anybody miss.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. She wants to be a doctor, she wants to treat the sick, and she wants to donate her money. That's love. That's love this each other. Anybody else? Anybody else? This is our children. These are our children. We brought them this way. If we want them to make the change, we have to make the change at home. Start with our children, with our neighbors, with our surroundings, then with our country. Being a good Muslim is being a good citizen. There's no conflict. Because how much you are good to Allah, how much you become good to the society. Yes, brother?
Actually, I agree with what you just said. I work with young people. The difference between the indigenous youngsters, youth, and the, how can I put it, the English youth, but use the word.
Expats.
Expats, what I'm going to call them, right? Basically, it's quite stark in many ways. And that, more often than not, is quite depressing. Because yes, you do have masajid, and you do have parents who try their best, but they don't know what the best is. They're confused. And this is where I think this is where our problem is. they're confused, they don't know. And this is about, I agree with you about having ideas, and I agree with you that it's not easy, it takes a lot of hard work. However, I think that's twofold. Because in order to keep someone your subject, what do? You deny them possibilities, you deny them opportunities. And I think this is what's happening to us, is being done to us. However, we can't just put the blame on others. I agree with you. But inshallah, I don't think we have many people who personally I need to show the way. Because the very first step is to admit that the reason that I'm not doing more is because I don't know. So obviously, I would like to show the way how. Okay.
May Allah bless you. At least somebody agrees with me at the end of the day. Anybody else would like to make a comment? Come on.
I want to be a doctor because I want to help the sick, make them feel better.
Inshallah. She knows what she wants to be. Sister Bushra, can I meet you after 20 years? Inshallah. You and me, I say, what's the specialty? You could become a dentist, you could become eye doctor, you could become heart doctor, you could become knee doctor, back doctor, lung doctor.
I want to be a surgeon.
Surgeon, Bismillah, mashallah, was a knife. Oh, very good. But your mother has to be very careful with you. Anybody else? Come on, brothers. You want to say something? Right. Bilal, you want to say something? Huh? Let him. Whoever wants to come here, he should come here willingly. Okay? Anything else, brothers and sisters? Okay? Anything else? So really, it's about how to believe that you would like to become a change maker. How to believe that you must have a role. How to believe that you can connect. How to believe that you are confident in yourself and in the deen that you are having and in the culture that you have, the color that Allah has given you, and your values. And how to believe that you are not an extremist, you are not radical, you are not terrorist.
Again,
That's it. How is the question?
ask him.
How to behave with the community. With your father, with your parents, with your mother, with your sister, with brothers, and surrounding, and with the greater community. How to excel in your subject. How to master your education. How to gain more knowledge. How to understand the philosophy of thinking of other people. This is where we need to have. How to build an organization. How not to worship an individual, but to worship Allah. Okay? How not to follow blindly somebody who has got very good speeches. Yes. No blindly. No. Even if you are asking the Prophet questions, difficult questions, silly questions. And the Prophet must answer. Okay? Following people blindly is wrong. Not using your mind is wrong. The Shaykh said, okay, thank you. So what? What's after? What's next? Okay? Anything else?
I'm pestering you all.
Kind of two separate resolutions. Number one, how do we take this forward?
Okay.
We also have to put back on this and show them how we take this forward. Because personally, I've been here close to 20 years and I'm going to meet someone who is willing to form fully Islamic mannerism and proper Islamic way compatible with Allah's will. And then take this forward because we know many example, when you spoke, we had one where you spoke about people who can make change and can influence policy and things like that. I'd say 99.9% of them are corrupt to the core. Highly example. I can tell you the biggest, the most senior Muslim MP there was called Swindon Stephen.
No problem. No problem.
Have a nice time.
And there is still as much as he wants.
But not that
You are not
much.
stealing.
No,
Like,
One black sheep among the flock.
one boy and one
he's not, he's
one
not around.
No,
one girl. They were both brothers and sisters. And one stole this and one stole this one.
Okay.
I kept on chasing him, but he didn't give in.
So,
Can I?
so Mama, or you
I think you start. You know why I asked the
Actually,
youngsters to start that?
Mama and Dream did the
You invest in those. You invest, the two girls who came here and the few brothers who came here, you invest on those two, on those children. And invest in them because you can have a higher success
He
rate.
lost him.
As I said earlier, change cannot happen overnight. It's number one. A change in youth. So invest in youth. Invest in women. Women have no voice in our institution. This has nothing to do with Islam.